Tonight, I want to honor the strength of a remarkable woman. What I'm about to tell you is shocking, but it is the truth. It is a story that needs to be told because our next hero believes that that is how the healing begins. Betty Makoni grew up in Zimbabwe, Africa. At 6, she was raped. When she was 9, her mother was murdered in front of her. These horrors would give anyone the excuse to shut out the world, but Betty refused to give up on it. She became a teacher and noticed that girls were dropping out of school, and she wanted to know why. Many had been sexually abused. Some fell victim because in her country, rape is often used as a weapon of war, and many other girls suffered because of the virgin myth. That myth is a man infected with HIV/AIDS can be cured by raping a virgin. Teenagers, toddlers, babies. So, Betty started the Girl Child Network and offered counseling, medical care, and support to build the girls back into strong, confident survivors. Since 1999, Betty's network has rescued more than 35,000 girls and women. While we can't stop a war from here, we can help Betty with her work. We can get the word out about that myth. We can tell the millions watching that it is a lie, it is a crime, and it is our responsibility to make sure that myth dies tonight. Let's honor our hero, Betty, and save a girl's life.
I think most probably you noticed that I'm the only speaker who brings a handbag with hair on stage. I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very honored to be here. This is actually my first time to address women who are in different professions. I wish I could have more than 10 days to do that. Let me first acknowledge the presence of our Nigerian princess, Her Royal Highness Princess Deo. And then I just want to say to Annalisa, thank you so much. You know, when we connect as women, we connect for the common good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run through my personal story. I know as chief executive officers, as big women, normally your stories are hidden. You go to work, sometimes you have been battered by a husband, you are bruised, you try to cover it up, you try to smile, you look at your junior, you're so embarrassed to talk about it. So I'm going to bring you to a personal story so that maybe if some of you are hiding pain some way, you can see that it's normal to talk about your pain. You cannot function as a chief executive officer if you have got everything burdening you from home. So the person who can pull you down is a boyfriend, is also a husband. If that boss constantly takes off your confidence, it's going to be so difficult. So I'm going to go to matters of the heart also by sharing my story. Then I'm also going to run through a slide. I just want to show you my work in Zimbabwe and some recommendations I'm going to give women like you. Then finally, I'm going to read a poem quickly. I won't read all of it because we are time limited. It's called This is the Job I've Always Wanted to Do. And it's actually in my poetry book here. So maybe you are going to love your job after reading about how proud I am about my job. I come from Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is in southern Africa, as you all know. I grew up in a very, very poor, high-density suburb. There was virtually nothing, 90% unemployment. And rape and all this was the order of the day. And then when I looked at my mother at age 6, I saw her bruised, I saw her beaten. She was an adult woman who had lost the education because as a twin sister, they were taken to be a taboo, so they were chased away from the village. But being an intelligent girl, I could sense this was a deprived woman. She wanted to be somebody. She wanted to achieve something in life. But when she got married to my father, it never worked at all. She was beaten every day. I want to equate my neighborhood to a war zone. Yes, you know Iraq, you know Somalia, you know Congo, but also there are wars being fought in the homes. It can be through words, it can be through knives, it can be through cooking sticks, it can be through anything. It happened in our home. I say to my mother, I see a policewoman, go report. I saw you being beaten, but she said, shh, we don't talk about that in public. So me, I became a rebel of patriarchy. You know the other rebels people are talking about. They rebel against governments. I rebelled against a home where I felt things were unfair, insensitive, and unjust. As a little girl at age 6, I started selling, being a vendor on the streets of St. Mary's. On the streets of St. Mary's, I had bigger girls, but by then I had learned the art. You know, when you are born with something, when you are born intelligence, it always comes out. So when bigger girls made a mistake on change, I would rush to say, you are giving her too much. Take back some of the money. So I was really sharp in my head. But it was unfortunate that whilst we were on the street, one man took advantage with us, just like what they've done with April. You've seen the little girl on the metro, if you are traveling with the underground, where a man, a pedophile in our neighborhood, just took turns to rape all of us. So at age 7, being a child vendor, I became a victim of rape. My mother never reported it, never took me to hospital, but she took salt and mixed it with warm water, and I could sit in a dish. That's how we killed bacteria. Later on, she died in domestic violence. She was 8 months pregnant, 1981. And I watched a woman saying, I'm gone, look after my children. She was talking to a daughter aged 9, and that was me. How on earth was I supposed to take responsibility of 5 children? How I wished this woman could have spoken out, could have called for help. Some people could have come to a rescue. My mother did not, so I took the burden of looking after the children. When I used to go to school, I would drop a child to whoever on that day just wanted to hold my brother. I would walk another 10 miles to school. Then I come pick up my brother, leave my brother at home, pick a basket of tomatoes, oranges, and vegetables to sell on the streets. You would just go, you let your small body into darkness, and darkness will take charge of you. That's how I survived. But later on, I learned that girls were applying to go to a very good girls' school. Catholic girls' school. I also sent my application. They responded to me and they said, oh, yes, come. When I went to that school, I saw all rich girls. But I said to myself, I have the brains but no money. I will break through. I will write the exams. When they called out who was the highest, it was the dirty Betty Makoni. Everybody had to cheer as the highest girl who got the highest mark for the entrance test. But look at my struggle just to get to that school. My stepmother, who had come to take charge of us, was a very cruel woman. She didn't even want me to go for that entrance test. But I realized that that was one chance in a life to get to a good school and break the vicious cycle of poverty that I knew at age 12. So the bus that was supposed to take us almost took off, and I ran after one bus. The girl who was seated to me gave me one pencil, one ballpoint. I didn't get $1 million. That I want to make very clear. Then afterwards, I made it to University of Zimbabwe, and even up to now, I'm still holding my identity card as a student at the University of Zimbabwe. Maybe many of you will say, what is a university? It was one university, one bus, one Catholic girls' club. In some countries, you have got one, not two. You miss one, you miss life. That's how resilient we are. You miss one opportunity. Most probably, you miss one donor, you miss life. You miss NGO, you miss life. You miss Catholic Church, that's it. So I did not give up. When I graduated, I went to the same neighborhood where I grew up. I wanted these girls to grow up to know that you don't wait for a fish. You take a fishing rod and you start fishing. You stand up. You are not a victim. You are victorious. That's what I wanted to tell girls in my poor neighborhood, that you may rely on anybody else, but the first thing, know that you have got the power to transform yourself from a perceived victim into a leader. So I started the first girls' club in my English class. I said, it's time we build the network. And this is what I want to quickly share with you. Those are the girls who never existed. Those are the girls I met. Those were the girls who had nowhere to go. Then I talked to the men in our village to say, give us our spaces from 400 years ago. We were given. And out of our innovation, we built girls' empowerment villages. Tell you what, I've seen a lot of Americans, a lot of British, a lot of Western countries flying to our country to build schools. But to tell you what, the Girls Empowerment Village, I built it with the help of my community. We are the ones who did the bricks. We are the ones who took grass and thatched it. That much I told people we can do. We cannot ask for donations. Next, I saw all the girls coming. Over 70,000 girls over a decade were raped and they came through the village. We offered healing. When we are in this part of the world, we talk about bacteria, we talk about trauma, we talk about stress. Where I come from, those are non-existent. Whatever stress you have, it melts. For some reason, because of your resilience. So this is how we tried to build indigenous responses. When a girl has got trauma, she's not like a girl anywhere else. We understand her trauma is coming together to make an issue, a community issue, not an individual issue. So my girls got to heal. That's the Girls Empowerment Village. They used to give boys blue and girls pink. We changed that. We painted everything blue. We staged a simple revolution. When they started seeing everything blue, they started asking what's going on. And we said, girls are coming. Look at some of our girls. They were actually in a village, not going to school. They started walking the Makoni path of empowerment. If the school does not come to you as a girl, you go to the school. Just go to the school, because if you are run away from the school, you run away from your life. So we have got simple educational tools we use. Like I came up with my handbag. We tell young girls, you are working towards your empowerment handbag. In this handbag, your life becomes automatic. And we tell them, look, I'm Betty Makoni. If I go to the bank, the bank card is registered in my name. Don't depend on a man. Most of our girls get married at age 12. Most of our girls get married at age 13. They are failing to get role models like what I'm seeing in this room, to just tell them that you can be automatic. Go put it in into a machine. It will say good morning to you and it gives you money. Just those words can make a revolution in a life of a girl who does not know, because their life starts and ends in a village. So we started empowerment handbags. And in your bag, there is your car key. In your bag, there is your house key. Start climbing the empowerment ladder. Until you get there, you tell us you are there. So we take girls from age 6, monitoring them, training them. After a year, they graduate in what we call empowerment model for girl-child network. Let me show you, because I'm so fond of the pictures. Girls starting solar bread making. They use solar to make bread and they sell it in schools. We are not going to have a situation where they go begging. We want them to do something. I worked at the school where the school ended up saying, if you want to stay here because you girl, you didn't pay, I said, give me all the toilets to clean. So I used to clean all toilets at the school during holidays. And you know, people say bacteria kills. I killed the bacteria myself. I'm the one who attacked it more than it. Otherwise, I shouldn't be here talking to such high-profile people like you. So we tell girls, do something with your hands. Don't do something with your private part. It gets destroyed whilst you are very young. And you can't even control and manage an adult act like sex so early. We do have a lot of girls, young girls like her, who are beginning to say, I'm raped, I want justice. I know people in the whole world have come up with issues around FGM. They say, let's advocate for them. My girls advocate for themselves. If any man in my village sees a car written girl-child network, the first thing they do is they run away. So you create your own community advocacy. Yes, UN is there. Yes, EU is there. But when you are raped in your village, you won't see them there. That's how we put our reasoning in our empowerment. Those are some of our girls' empowerment clubs. I found those girls depressed. I found them out of school. By the time you put her in school, she starts to be bright and shining. Now we have come to the global community to say we want a sustainable girls' empowerment fund. If we put that together, we are going to have many of our leaders right on the ground taking the work to young girls. And this is what we are doing in England to say we know the story. Betty understands the story. I get it myself. We want every girl to be empowered and to get back to school. I think I brought some recommendations. I said, let's have local events to inspire girls. Each one of us returning to our villages, and even some of our friends here who are going there, we don't have to only donate money. Inspire them beyond donation. Tell them that they can be donors themselves. So we are looking for more and more women who fill villages. Villages at the moment are empty. There is nobody going to the village. They are deserted. We're also thinking about capacity building. Yes, you can give me something, but it's much better if you give me skills. A skill stays with you forever. When I was a child vendor, I learned marketing. If you tell me to go to school of marketing, I'll end up teaching everyone there. Because I learned how to sell tomatoes, I learned how to attract customers, I learned how to keep them, I also learned how to respect them. So we want skills in our girls more than anything that comes and goes. And then I'm recommending writing books. The girls have got stories. I saw girls making reading books out of old newspapers in a village. All these stories that we have, we need to take them. Knowledge is power. Everything about a person can happen, but as long as they hold on to a knowledge, they can develop in anything they want. That's why even today, I'm actually audio recording whatever you are saying, because I'm going to villages in Zimbabwe to say, did you hear what the American Airlines are saying? They are going to ask me, what is American Airlines? That's the plane that goes up there. It goes down. There are pilots in there, you know. So everything we are getting, every word you are saying here, know that it's empowerment word. It's no play matter. We also, letters of support, sent young girls letters to say, you will make it. I'm so and so, I'm writing to you. I did not give girls millions. I want to be honest to you. I went to girls to say, you are here today, but tomorrow I'm going to see you somewhere. But I'm seeing girls at London University today from villages who are saying, Betty, come, we are graduating next week. We just want to give that sense that they can actually move from poverty to prosperity. Girls Empowerment Awards, we are inviting you. We are starting inviting 5 girls from Africa, from 5 African countries. And we give them a platform like this to say, share how you are leading. You are going to be amazed by the innovation. Girls building libraries, girls advocating for other girls, girls who are taking up our royalty in the continent. That's our Girls Empowerment Village with our own hands. Nothing donated. We molded the bricks, we bent them, and we built the village. We are saying technologies with us. I'm a radio presenter. So every week I talk to my girls in Africa through the internet. I tell them to keep coming. So all the radios women are putting on the internet, we are taking everything that is so inspiring to be the lessons for girls. We are trying to have downloadable tapes. We are going to have radios. All those gadgets really help to inspire a girl and to move her to a next stage. Books, we started a campaign, Never Again. And Annalisa actually said I should share my book. I've often said our stories are not a paragraph. We are 600 pages. If somebody says your story in a sentence, they are lying. I am 600 pages. I'm not a sentence. So I think for those who are working on projects in Africa, this is raw autobiography. If you want to face truth about helping girls in Africa, you will read this. I said it as it is. I didn't mince my words. So we started Never Again campaign here. We called all the royalty in Africa to say, what's going on? Why are we quiet when girls are being married off? Why are we quiet when they are taking knives on the private parts of girls? Where are we as the royalty of that continent? We are gathering globally to stop the menace. That we will stop. That we have the power to stop. That's why Princess and other prominent women, we are gathering outside organizations to say enough. Then like Nicole Kidman, you can add your voice. Honestly, you can say that must stop right now. That we don't need millions to do. Then we are saying empower the girl child, power the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure now to declare that I love my job. This is the job I've always wanted to do. Here I am, and here's the job I've always wanted to do with all passion and compassion, combat feeling that I'm totally there on the job I've always wanted to say. No coercion, no persuasion, no manipulation, no job description, no job specification, specific though to support empowerment of girls. Girls empowered, future women reach potential. Potential to hover, conquer, soldier on, struggle on. Not for the love of money, but for the love of girls. Groomed, empowered girls, fruits of thy labor. I toil and labor just upon a glimpse of my girls. This is addiction. No watch whatsoever on my wrist. No need for all time is work time. No amount of cash can pay for this. Not even silver, gold, diamond. This job I've always wanted to do. The inner part of my passion. So gracious goodness. The job I've always wanted to do. Trials and tribulations, ups and downs, bygones for their testamental. Persecutions, known deeds of thy times, spirit, soul, certitude, sanity, and so on and so forth. No interview to demonstrate either commitment or competence. Inner interview confirmed thus, called oneself for it, and now I'm stuck to it. Promised the inner self I would do it. Here then I am now. Right on the job of my love. Love, passion, like river, love for it flows on and on and on. My job, my passion, my spirit, my soul, me, myself, Betty, one system, one blood, one me. My job, I dream it, I walk it, I feel it, I love it, oh, mwah, I kiss it. Here is the job I like to do. This is the job I've always wanted to do. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.